Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's Robin. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. So in today's video, I'll be talking about why you should do yoga. At least from my perspective. Just so you guys know, before I started this video, I was literally shuffling my hair on this side, on that side. It just kept annoying me. Getting a little off track there, but okay, so why you should do yoga. Again, I'm not a coach. I'm not trying to sell yoga here. This is all based on my experience and because I found it helpful. I think in today's day and age, there's a lot of people suffering from stress and anxiety. And, you know, sometimes you might feel like, okay, I feel a little settled in my life in the sense that, you know, I have a good friend circle, or I have great people around me, such as my family and my friends, and I have a job, or I'm studying and I'm getting good grades and all that kind of stuff, but something inside of me is just not making me happy. I don't know what it is, but it's just not making me happy. So if you're someone who perhaps has been wanting to really get more active in life, and that could be going to the gym and becoming more fit, and you're just not finding that motivation. If you're someone who wants to become mentally, physically, and emotionally balanced and find better alignment within those three areas, and you're just kind of finding it that you're all over the place, that, you know, you are not able to cope with your emotions, and your emotions are all over the place. Some days, you know, you're really happy and motivated, but then the other days you're a little too hard on yourself, and, you know, just in bed all day and not wanting to do anything, which affects your physical and mental health. So yeah, so it's basically, if you're not feeling motivated, and if you're feeling that, you know, you are anxious all the time, which causes you to be stressed, keep watching. This is why I feel you should get into yoga. So if you're someone who wants to get more active overall, okay, you want to, you know, rather than always, especially if you're someone who's always sitting at the desk, whether it's for studying or whether it's for because of work, and you want to just get more active and you're finding it hard, yoga is something that really balances your system. Okay, so through yoga, your body, the reason might be lethargy, right? So it really helps open up all your chakras, and chakras are basically different points, or yoga's defined different points in our system. So we have our chakra, one chakra over here, and, you know, one here, which is the throat chakra. This is our crown chakra, and then we have the heart, and then the abdomen, and the perineum. So anyways, I don't want to get too much into detail, but basically we want to align all of that. And sometimes we have things within our system that are not aligned, or that are not streamlined, which causes us to be a certain way. And that could be, you know, not feeling physically active. And so once you start to practice yoga, it really opens up all of these chakras or systems in your body, which really start to energize your body cells and your hormones. And you'll find that once you get into it, you will start to want to be more active. And that's just, again, from my experience. One of the things I wanted to mention is also yoga postures is a good way to strengthen and lengthen your muscles. So if you have been stiff for many years and you haven't been physically active, it's really a great way to transition into becoming a little active and, you know, loosening up your joints, making you a little bit more flexible until you get, you know, you want to kind of go into into the gym and start, you know, lifting weights maybe, or whether it's cardio, whatever it is. So that's one of the things, that's one of the reasons why I highly recommend why you should do yoga. So the next reason why you should do yoga is if you're someone who, you know, who's mentally and emotionally feeling like a wreck. There were days where, you know, and there are still days, and that's why this is not, you know, a temporary fix. This is an ongoing, consistent change in lifestyle. But if you're someone who has, you know, you don't know, one day you're feeling, or even 1 minute you're feeling happy, and the next minute you feel so discouraged, you feel worthless, you feel like shit, and then you feel angry and you hate yourself and you hate your surroundings, and then you sit and ask yourself why, and you don't really know why. I think yoga is for you because it will definitely help you bring more clarity in your mind. It'll clear your vision of whether it's you trying to understand yourself or figure out what is bothering you, or what it is that you want to achieve. So it definitely balances and it helps balance your mental clarity and your emotions. Also, if you're someone who finds that you're just not finding that motivation, you are, you know, you have all these goals, you want to achieve these goals, you have, you know, written them down, you have talked to yourself about this, you've talked to the people around you, and you're just one step away from executing it, but you just haven't been able to, yoga is for you. Because again, this yoga just literally streamlines your entire system, your mind, body, and soul, and it really helps you to take that next step. I wouldn't be doing this today, I wouldn't be making this video today if I hadn't gotten myself into yoga. Because getting yourself into yoga, again, I have to remind you guys, it's not just about, you know, the physical postures. Because if it was just about the physical part of it, then you wouldn't, it would be considered a fitness, really, right? And so yoga is more about mind and your body and your soul, and because you interlink all these three aspects, you are able to really execute and have a better grip and control of your emotions and your life, that you're finally able to know what you want and actually go ahead and execute that plan. And finally, my next recommendation for why you should do yoga is because if you're someone who tends to be very anxious in all parts of your life, whether, you know, it's deciding what to cook for the day, or what to eat for the day, or what you should wear when you're going to a social event, there's a reason why you feel that way. I personally became an anxious person because, or at least from my perspective, why I think I got my anxiety is because when I was growing up, you know, up until I would say 11th grade, I was never really serious about my grades. It's not that I didn't really try to get good grades, but even if I did try, like, I just didn't care. And so, you know, my older sister, who's a couple of years older than me, when I was in the 11th grade, she had gotten into university, and my parents would always say, oh, look, you know, if you don't get into university or in college, you're gonna have to, you're gonna just be, you know, stuck at this level of your life, and you're never gonna get better education and all that stuff. And yes, that caused a lot of fear in my mind, and you know, I felt like, okay, everyone would always maybe compare me and my sister and say, oh, look, your sister is doing so much well, and you're not. And I think I kind of used that to really push myself and to get a little bit more serious, so I would get good grades in my 11th and 12th grades to be able to apply for universities and get in. And that was a kickstart to my anxiety. And you know what? I knew that I was kind of fearful, which was feeding into my anxiety, and I was okay with that because I was like, oh look, this is actually making me become serious about life. This is actually making me study and work on myself, and rather than just not caring and hanging out with friends or just not giving a crap about school, it was actually making me concentrate better. So then that led into me going into university and still feeling the same way. And I was like, oh my gosh, now I'm in university. How do I keep myself in university? First year was so hard for me because I really didn't know what I wanted to do, and I just went into accounting and finance just because I didn't know what else to do. And so I was having a hard time keeping up with my grades and really just being confused. And the only reason I was able to survive first year was because of that fear of failing, fear of not having my parents appreciate or value me as a person, and just because of my grades or just because of my career aspirations. So I think one thing after the other, and then exam time came, and then I was always fearful of failing my exams, or even forget about failing. It came to the point where getting 70s were not acceptable for me personally. And this actually started in high school in the 12th grade as well. But one thing just led to the other, and my anxiety just kept getting fed into, until the point where, once I had a job. So I had a job, and I finally, had whatever it was that a new graduate, or be where a new graduate should be. But then I also my body had gotten to being so anxious all the time, and I honestly just didn't know anymore how to deal with it. There were times where I had anxiety attacks and my emotions were all over the place, and there was just a lot of ups and downs with being emotional. And so temporarily I was dealing with it by just distracting myself, going out, being social, and trying to always just tell myself, be happy, be happy, be happy. But in reality, I think what kind of really helped me is going on to that spiritual journey and getting myself into yoga and learning the breath work in yoga. I think the breath work really helps you slow down, because I was always used to the go, 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 go lifestyle, and I still am a part of that, which I think is so important. And I want to tell everybody out there that has, a corporate job, or just you're working in a stressful environment, whichever that may be, that if you especially have that kind of a role, you need yoga. It's not something that you should just think about. I think it should be mandatory for you to be incorporating yoga. And I know there's so many misconceptions about meditation and yoga in general, and I get that because I have been there. I have been that person who never wanted to get into yoga or meditate. But I think if you are someone who feels like your schedule is just crazy, you have no time for anything, your mind is always thinking, and you're an overthinker, I think you really need to slow down. And if you don't do that, sooner or later, it's gonna catch up to you, and you are really deteriorating your health slowly. So if you're someone who's been through something or something similar to what I have been, or you're currently going through it, I highly recommend that you get yourself a little bit, at least take a little baby step to just learn a little bit about yoga, and just start to implement small little changes to your life that will help you really balance your mind. One of the things I wanted to mention when I talked about mental clarity is also that I think one of the main things about mental clarity is that you do breath work in yoga, where, in fitness, yes, you're breathing, but you're breathing out of your mouth. Whereas in yoga, you're inhaling and exhaling out of your nose, which is more beneficial because it really it's just a meditative way of breathing in yoga. It really helps to open up and provide oxygen to all parts of your body in an in-depth way, and you're learning to lengthen your breath. So I don't know if you guys ever realize, but you know, even just sometimes, for instance, right now, because I'm talking constantly, I have such a shortness of breath. I'm kind of like but once you practice that breath work, not only does that bring you mental clarity, but it really helps you overall with your anxiety as well, because like I said, it slows you down when you're able to take such a deep breath. So instead of doing all the time after you say a few words, when you lengthen your breath, you really learn to calm yourself. You really start to heal that anxiety, or you really start to build a little bit more clarity because you're slowing down your system. So you're not feeling obligated to have everything figured out in a minute or 5 minutes or a day. It helps you realize that you have time. You just need to take a deep breath and just reconnect with your body and listen to your body rather than forcing it to do what you want it to do. Alright guys, there's many other reasons why you should do yoga, but these were the main reasons that I found that were personally helpful from my perspective. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And if you want to see similar videos on this channel, please do let me know in the comments below. I'm more than happy to share my experiences and maybe make similar videos like this that will help you in your journey or whatever it is that you might be going through or have gone through. Alright guys, well take care. This is it for now. See you on my next video. Bye!